We get maximum exposure, pro negotiations, so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to attend our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. It's the best time to buy parts all year. Take advantage of specials December 6th through the 15th with additional savings the day of your local expo. Find savings on oil and filters, gifts for under the tree, and most pre-ordered John Deere parts. Visit with our trained and certified technicians and sign up for our service specials. Don't miss out. It only comes around once a year at your local Landmark Implement. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for a complete schedule of our
beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach.
Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown. 98 yards and a Lambeau leap.
Here is your host, Ahman Green.
All right. Are we good? All right. Welcome into the Ahman Green Show. I'm your host, and I'm sitting live in the key, as they call it, of MMA Most Wanted training here in, headed to South Lincoln. Yeah.
Southish
Lincoln with my man Austin on the ones and twos here. What's up, man?
Not much. Doing great.
Yeah.
Been a long time since we had a chance to sit down and talk.
It's been a minute. We had all the spring together.
We did.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
This is I love this place. Just the vibe of it. You see these guys putting in the work this late at night. I mean, it's not late. It just feels super late. Yeah. 33rd and Highway 2, Most Wanted MMA. Great area. I think it fits the vibe.
Yeah.
I love everything going on here already.
Yep. It was interesting. He telling me like, I haven't really been in this environment in terms of kicking and punching any type of fight. So I tell you a story. Finish that statement there, then I'll tell you a story when I was trying to get my running backs one year when I was coaching high school football to get physical and picking up the blitz.
Yeah, I am a lover, not a fighter. You know, like I played basketball, kind of a contact sport, not really. Baseball, absolutely not.
True.
There's a reason I gave up football. I do hit the ball, but getting hit by the ball, getting hit by other players, not exactly it. Ahman, I've never thrown a punch. I have never thrown a kick. at anyone
in real life.
In real life.
Okay.
I've not done that.
Siblings?
No.
Really? Cousins?
No.
Uncles that think they try to rule you?
No.
Really?
No.
Same problem with my running backs one year that I had at Freedom High School.
Tell me about those running backs.
Up in Wisconsin. So we were in training camp like halfway through, and it was the day of picking up the blitzes. Like we were going to have a blitz day so they could start working on their pass technique, pass pro, as we call it.
Can't be passive in that.
Right, cannot. And so I'm home the night before and driving there, because it's about 20 minutes from my house. Night before night, I'm driving there. I'm just like, all right, this is going to be the breakdown. I'm just like, hey, blocking in football is similar to a boxing match. You got to throw punches. Obviously, you're not really going for the face because you're just kind of just punching the body.
Strike first.
Strike first, strike often, move your feet. And just saying, hey, so if you've ever been in a fight, you got to throw punches, and then somebody punches you, you punch back. Don't just take the hit and absorb it. Like you take the hit and then, give them a little something back. So that was the part where when I said, have any of y'all been in a fight? And I saw the blankest looks, kind of like your face.
A fight? Coach Ahman, what's that?
And I was like, are y'all telling? I'm like, anybody? Like, brother, like I just said to you, Austin, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, anybody, you've been into a fight for any reason? I was like, these were farm boys. So I'm like, the pigs, the horses, anything, newborn calf or something. They're like, no, coach, sorry. And I'm just like, all right, let me get a minute. I'm gonna go back over here in my imaginary office to put in my mind of like, okay, now I gotta come at them differently. Because I'm like, I was in fights, brothers, sisters, cousins, friends in the neighborhood that I thought were my friends, and now it's like, all right. So I just had to come out a little differently. So it was the first experience, now second, around somebody that has not physically kicked or punched anybody. Even for fun, play fight. None of that?
Not really. Fights? No, most of my altercations have been verbal. I use my words. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
That's why I'm here. Straight up. That's why I'm here. I use my words.
Yes. That's why you work in radio.
Pen is mightier than the sword stuff.
Yeah. Yes. So, but no, I've been around this a lot. I've actually done jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing training. I do it. I have the actually fight camp bag, my punching bag. I got to get sand and water in the base because I was doing it a lot in Wisconsin. But now since I'm here, it's been just sitting in my garage, but I've been busy with work and everything. But eventually I'm going to get where I have time to fill it up, and probably when I get back and get it where it's ready to go, where I could punch it, get some training. Because, boxing, as you can see already, guys you get lathered up real quick, and great cardio. That's what I love about it, and then helping out with the upper body muscles, keeping your arms in shape, keeping your core in shape. Because you got to, it's like throwing a ball. You turn your hips a lot and a lot of striking, and then you're kicking, obviously getting your legs off the ground pretty fast. You got to have that. That's your hips. That's your quads, obliques, all that muscle. A lot of like 3 or 4 things are going on at one time. You don't even realize it as what you're doing. When you're kicking and punching, it's like a whole bunch of muscle groups from head to toe are moving around all at the same time.
That's what we heard here. So Coach Jesse here has a fight at PBA actually this Friday. He's
nice.
Muay Thai instructor, but we hear him, giving his instruction out here, and it's not just arm. It's engage your core. It's rotation. It's footwork before they even look at the upper body. And that's something I think, if I were to jump in a ring, it would be just this. You can't see me because we're not on stream, but just elbow out, maybe a
like
little
the
shoulder.
Rock'em Sock'em
Exactly.
Robots. That's what Austin looks like.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
a Rock'em Sock'em robot. That's who I am as a fighter. But to hear Coach Jesse go through, engage the whole body, right, head to toe, the rotation, the obliques, the abs, just the timing of it, the coordination aspect of it. When you time up your punches and what's your footwork like during that, there's so much more to it than Austin style Rock'em Sock'em.
No, it's the breathing aspect of it. And it's the, like you said, core engagement, which is vital because that's where your power comes from. And if you stay balanced, you got a good stance on you, good where you kind of stagger your feet in kickboxing because you got to kick your back. Like if I'm lefty, so I'm going to be kind of like the way the instructor is right now with his left leg back.
Forward, left leg
my
back,
right shoulder is forward, back leg, my left leg is back. And so, but you stagger your feet kind of like right, left, or I think it's right, left this way, or right, left when your right leg is leading with punches and kicks. That kick got to come from like a low level where your opponent doesn't really see it.
Right.
And so it's a part of the training. You learn when you're getting into this. And I say the biggest part that I like about it is just it's just a different dynamic of what I'm usually doing and what I used to do playing football, and the way I built cardio there, quick foot and sprints and stuff like that. This is more like wrestling, endurance, hitting different body parts that has to have that. Like I said, it got to go. Like it got to go for a long time.
That's just the thing. It's you have that endurance. So, rounds have the time limit as they go on. But there's also that burst element of it too, right? You see your advantage. You get a guy in the rope. You got to go take advantage of it, right? You can't always play the long game. You have to notice when that advantage comes, and boom, go hit it.
Yep,
and don't let up.
It's just like studying film or anything. And then like if you try to find that, you got to be careful, right? With Muay Thai, with kickboxing, with the grappling, with the jiu-jitsu, where if you shoot your shot at the wrong time, they could chokehold. Because you're like trying to punch, and because I've been in a couple situations, I say, but what helped me was the strength from football. And guys that I wrestle with, usually they didn't have the upper body strength that I've had. And I'm just kind of pull out of it. They were like, "Oh my God, how'd you do that?" I'm like, I knew you were about to choke me, so I was like, "Let me get out of this, man. This is a bad position. It doesn't feel good.
This is where you're coming from. This is where I am. Here's how I get out of there."
Yeah, I gotta get out of there. If not, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Right. It's not bedtime yet.
It's not bedtime. I'm about to go night. I'm not ready for night in the gym right now.
As Jay Foreman would say, all heads to bed.
Right. It's like, no, I don't want that to go on right now. Linebackers say that to me all the time. No, don't give that to them. So, but it's a sport though that I've always since it came into existence, MMA, because we know kickboxing's been around forever, boxing's been around forever, everything around MMA has been around forever. It just MMA became all that together. I've respected it from day one because I watched the other sports. I was a fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Sure.
Growing up and watching his movies, even though that's dramatization. I'm telling that name. Dramatization. It's just fictional. It's not the real stuff. As we see in here, the training for it, as we see in the Olympics. The wrestling and grappling there. But there's it's a romance with it. You gotta understand, like we were talking. Hey, between the punches and kicks, you gotta know. Are you that guy? Are you that person? When you get hit in the face, is it going? Are you gonna fold, or are you like, okay, I'm throwing punches back?
And that's the difference between you and me, right? I'm not cut out for it. You are, right? You have that mindset as a running back.
Yep.
Did you ever consider going full Herschel Walker?
Yeah. He when I saw him get into it and win, I was like, I started training for it, and then my wife was like, "No, you got hit enough. You've been hit enough in the head."
I mean, I guess.
I'm like, I can handle it. I already knew I could do it. That's why I started doing it.
You're going to be given more punishment than you're taking.
Right. I know how to dodge people. I've done that before. I know how to, slide on the punches, move my feet. I remember all that, and that was part of like what I learned in football. Whatever my coach coaches me on, I learned how to memorize it because it's life preserving.
literally.
In the MMA sense of the word. So you just got to make sure you know that stuff and make it your priority, mastering it, mastering slide of the punches and ducking and knowing how to block with your hand to, get the punch out of your face and stuff like that. And using your footwork is huge. It's huge. And, knowing that stuff and able to reciprocate it on the mat once the coach teaches you and shows you how to do it, then that's where you kind of figure out, you either know right away, yeah, I'm gonna do this just for casual training, or you know what, I want to get serious. You'll find it eventually. Your body will say, "Oh," the body will tell you. You're like, all right, our bodies have a good way of doing that. Just sometimes we don't listen to it. That's the master. That's another thing you got to master is listening to your body when it talks to you. When you have an ache or pain, or when you feel something and it like worked, a move or a positioning, learning technique, learning. Working on your endurance, all that, your body bounces back and recovers. You start to feel it, and you're like, all right, I could do this. Because then the mental checks in. So when the mental and the physical come together, then it's pretty much up to you how you're going to be, successful with it and able to do what you need to do with it.
It's that kinesiology that I don't think we give enough credence to sometimes. Is that we're all people, we all move the same. No. Bodies are built differently.
No, everybody.
So even if it's the same,
unless you're twins, that's about it.
Right, and even then,
yeah.
But not all athletes are the same. Not all people are the same. No. So even if you're trying to accomplish the same move, what it takes to get your body into that position in the right timing, it's going to be different athlete to athlete.
Yes, 100%. From height, weight, size, people are more flexible than others. They're still athletic. You got athletic people that are super tight, but then you have athletic people that are super flexible,
right?
To do things that everybody can't do. But then, transitioning to the mat to from the mind, learning it, the processing of it, and then actually trying to bring it out. Bring out an arm bar or bring out a certain way you kick or punch. The lead kick is mostly your ball of your feet. On your front toe or your front foot, basically, whatever foot is leading. So just understanding how to have the balance to make that kick powerful. You can't just kick it and basically be a lame kick. You got to have power with it so that opponent feels it. So it's interesting, and I like it. And I do it I did it with one of my faculty members, Ryan Tan. He's off on Christmas break now. He went back to Singapore and he does it. He had a little wrist roll. He was also military there, so he does it every now and then because of that. And that's part of military training. It's grappling and basically MMA.
J School's gotten tough since I left. Holy cow!
Yeah, some of the faculty members, hey, we about that smoke. But no, he had when we went not far from there over by Union College. It was a lot of folks that day. It was on a Sunday, I believe.
Woo.
Early Sunday. It was like no, it's actually here in the semester because he was here. So it was actually September. So it was like around first couple of weeks of football season. And I had a good time in there. Learned some technique, got around a lot of people my size, which is cool, to deal with. Some of them were bigger than me too. They're trying to, reach around, grab. You find out, okay, all right, you got to work around a little bit harder than the usual when people are a little bit, outweigh you and outsize you a little bit. So
and that's another thing, just looking out at the number of trainees that are over here, the different body types, right? There's some similarities. You can see where they come from, but at least in my lane, you think of basketball, taller is better, right?
Yeah.
You want a 6'5" guard instead of a 5'11" guard, running the point. But at the same time, even if you're smaller, you have an advantage. You just have to find it, right? So here in, MMA, mixed martial arts training, the different body types, they're important.
It is.
You're going to have an advantage. Can you figure out what that advantage is? And can you, hammer at it? Can you keep, pounding that rock to end up getting that win?
Yeah. I mean, if you have, tall and lean, you got, average height, but still solid all the way through where you're, strong core and all that all factors in, and then everything else comes into play once you learn all the technique of every little thing, being on the ground, being up and fighting with your hands and your kicks. Those are the type of things, like once you get it mastered, it becomes a little bit more easier. And then you kind of learn how to be efficient with your moves, with your footwork, where you're not wasting time or breath, because that breath is energy. And you learn, okay, I want to get to this moment where I'm either going to get him on the ground or get them on the ground or get them into a submission hold. I got to make sure I'm more efficient getting there than just making a shot, taking my shot like we talked about earlier. You got to make sure you understand the effort that gets there. And then once you get in that position, if you get there, do I have now the energy to finish it off? So you got to make sure you kind of balance that out. And that's more of a practice thing than when you're in live action. It just happens so fast. But once you're in a match, it's just making sure you have it down pat when you're in practice mode.
Right. And I think we can, rely on your football experience here too, not getting outside yourself, right? Yeah, there's a wide base at times, but not too wide. No wasted movements with the feet, right? Like you as a high school running back, you as a college running back, to being a rookie to your final year in the NFL, would it be fair to say you spent half your time on footwork, learning how to have your feet in the right spot and not get them going too fast or too slow, not getting outside yourself?
Yeah, I will say more than that. I'll say more. I say like 78% easy. Wow. I was always doing quick foot drills, jump rope.
Thank you.
Between my footwork, obviously doing the jump rope routines that I did pretty much every day, that was working on my endurance at the same time. And then the footwork side of it, obviously with my run plays to my blitz pickup and how I adjust it with my feet to make sure I'm going to hunker down, because I see this guy, he looked like he's going to bull rush me.
Do you have a good blitz pickup story? Favorite blitz pickup you ever had? Did you deck someone?
I had a few. I got, as we called it in the backfield, and some linebackers call it, getting bounced out the club. I did that. And I say for college football wise, I say I had one. I remember my freshman year spring ball. So basically it was my spring ball freshman year. And right after the season, that we had. And I remember one time, this full go practice, and I had had become one of the Coach Solij's best cut blockers, and I had Grant Wistrom come. I had him on a play where I'm like, all right, I gotta cut him, and got him down to the ground. It was a cut. I fired through the hip. His leg went up. His face hit the ground. He was all mad. He slapped me in the face mask. Bro, why you do that? I'm like, I gotta do that. It's my
Coach
job.
told me to.
It's on the play call, bro. I gotta cut the D in on the backside. And he's
not personal.
He slapped me in the face mask. I'm just like, I know you're mad, but hey, it's part of the deal, bro. I did it right so you're not hurt. Like I went through the hip. I didn't hit you in the knee or the ankle. I went right through the hip where all the meat and bone is at. So you're good. You're strong. You're fine. And
if you're in MMA, you would have punched back, but you're in football, so you know better than to run your hand into a helmet.
I was like, for one, we in helmets. Well, a punch does nothing. That's one thing about football. I was like, why are they fighting with helmets on? And one, don't take off your helmet, leave it on, and don't. If you grab a helmet off of somebody else's head and start swinging it. There you go.
Right.
Not recommended.
The Myles Garrett special.
Yeah, there you go. It came off, and he just went about it. But for the part of that is just understanding, like, where your body has to be. And I mean, but after that play though, he smacked me in the face, man. And I was like, hey, I'm not getting yelled at by Coach Solich. So here we go. That, and then I say NFL wise, I had a couple times. I played. We played the Bears twice a year. One in Chicago and one in Green Bay, and Urlacher and Lance Briggs had to deal with them a few times. Big linebackers.
Lance Briggs is an underrated guy. I think people forgot about him very quickly.
Underrated.
Playing next to Urlacher might have something to do with that, but Lance Briggs was good.
People forget about Lance, but Lance was the one that actually was the anchor. Like, he had more body mass than Urlacher. Urlacher, from the lower body down, from between his hips and his kneecaps, that mean hips and thighs, were good size, but then he had no calves. Like, he had these little, like, if he was basketball player calves, it wasn't football player calves. So that's where the speed came from, where he was a fast linebacker. But in terms of packing a punch and finishing us off, stopping the run, his advantage was his speed and dragging us down on the outside plays, but not in the gap, like in the A, B, C gaps, or the 2 hole, the 3 hole, the 4 hole, up in the middle between the guards and tackle. Being in there, that wasn't his strong suit, and we knew that. And a lot of people didn't know that about Brian Urlacher. He was a side-to-side linebacker, so great tackles. But when it meant to, like, third and short, we knew we were going to get it.
You're going to run at him.
We're going to run straight at him. And that was something we figured out year one with him. And when he got to Green Bay, or when he got to Chicago in 2000. So by 2001, between 2001 and 2003, if Coach Sherman somehow got diverged from running ISO plays, we'll basically come to the sidelines and yell at him, like, stop running the outside zone plays. You're catering to his advantage because he's a speed linebacker. Can he hit sometime? Yeah, he could bring guys down and get a good shot on somebody, but his weakness is going straight at him. And so that was our cup of tea, and that's how we, bread and butter all day.
I do have to ask, that's from the Bears. Was there anyone you took advantage of like that on the Vikings and Lions?
We did.
Come all.
Oh yeah, it was all the NFC North teams. Even Tampa Bay, they eventually got part of that. Yeah. Whereas, like, they get either bounced out the club or they taking them for a ride between myself, Tony Fisher, and Najee Davenport. Najee was 250 and run a 4.4, and he was my backup as well. So they're dealing with 220 in terms of me, 6 foot 220. Then they're dealing with 6'1", 250. Halfway through the fourth quarter. And
yeah, good luck.
It was just, exactly. We were a problem. And so that's why we were successful. But, through those times is where you learn, okay, this is the leverage that we got right now. Running inside is going to be our advantage because of what we see, in terms of the yards being picked up after contact. And it was something of when you had 3 of us, Tony Fisher, he was 6'2", 225. So, it was an issue of basically attrition. We'll just basically wear you out. And that's what with MMA is that you try to wear your opponent out, chip away. You hear that with boxing terms, commentary say, hey, they're just chipping away, chopping the wood. That's what we kind of did with the run game here. And so but here it's the same idea. If you got a kick, you're very powerful with it, or you got little jabs, keep jabbing, mixing in other punches to wear that opponent out. And then eventually you be to your advantage, and then your body though is all at the same time as one little machine working at once to make all these moves happen, basically.
The difference, too, is that in football, you got a team of blockers. You got someone calling the plays for you. In MMA, you got a coach, you got people in your corner, but
that's it.
You are on your own out there.
And so you got to make sure you know certain things. You know how a punch comes in and away from the body and coming back. You know how that, you throw a right punch, and it goes, you twist the arm twist and it comes back, and you got to make sure it's in a position where you keep it tight to your face, not too tight, because if you hit your fist, you don't want the fist to get hit and hit you. So it's all a little stuff you learn, but you learn fast because you'll be like, all right, I don't
get tired of getting punched in the face.
Exactly. I don't want that to happen again. So you learned it very exactly, because it's like, all right, my face is sore and parts of my body are screaming, and what do I have to do? And know there's no quitting involved. What do I have to do to make this right? Okay, I got to do this, that, and the other. Okay, let's nail it. And so that's when the motivation comes in, because you're like, all right, sick and tired of this. It's that sick and tired mode. Checks in. You're like, all right, I'm sick and tired of feeling like this after a match or after practice. And now I want to get to the point where I don't feel like this.
Make someone else feel like this instead of myself.
Exactly. Or myself, or just whoever's training with me. Let's get it out. Let's get them. And so that's where somebody like me that motivates me to get better. And then I say master everything I could possibly master within my control of my body and whatever I'm being taught, here in MMA or any type of training like that is pretty cool. Like I said, respect it.
Oh, absolutely. We're down here at Most Wanted MMA Lincoln, just north of 33rd and Highway 2. Check him out at mostwantedlincoln.com. Big shout out to Coach Jesse here. He's got a fight on Friday. McKenna is the owner here, so you got to set up. And we're off and rolling here on the Ahman Green Show. Thanks for tuning in again. Mostwantedlincoln.com. Check out Most Wanted MMA. All sorts of plans, very flexible. If you want to come in, check it out. Get started on your own personal fitness journey, experience something new. No better place to do that than, again, Most Wanted MMA. He's Ahman Green. I'm Austin Norman. This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket.
All right. Job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Enjoy some Heavenly Waffles this December 6th at the 93.7 Ticket Studio at 1040 O Street. Parking available along 11th Street or in nearby garages.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Experience flexibility like never before with Ace Rent-to-Own. Whether you're decorating a new home or upgrading your electronics, they provide easy payment plan options that suit your budget. No credit checks, no hefty interest rates, just straightforward renting solutions designed with you in mind. Find great options to make a beautifully furnished space or surround yourself with the latest gadgets. With Ace Rent-to-Own, it's all within your grasp. Visit acerentoown.com and bring home more than just a product. Bring home a lifestyle. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Don't miss the most innovative ag technology that exists today on display in Lincoln at the Nebraska Ag Expo, the second largest indoor ag show in the U.S., December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Check out all the latest technology in row crop and livestock production, robotics, and more at the expanded Innovation Hub. Mark your calendar. That's December 5th, 6th, and 7th. Register online at NebraskaAgExpo.com to get your tickets in advance and save $5. See you in Lincoln. The Nebraska Ag Expo is sponsored in part by Farm Credit Services of America and Ag Direct.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, we are back at Most Wanted MMA in where we at off? What's the address?
33rd and Highway 2.
33rd and Highway 2. Still getting used to my geography around here. I know I'm headed to South Lincoln area. I know that much. But
has Lincoln grown since you were here?
Definitely. No, it definitely did. I've been, I'll say on average in the last 20-something plus years coming back between my playing days and now, we'll come back at least once a year to catch a game.
Sure.
Come down here, stay in Omaha, or stay down here with friends, or maybe get a hotel. But
if you're going to a game, are you in the stands? You in the suites in the box?
I like. I'm more of a stands guy. I don't mind sitting with the crowd. It doesn't bother me at all. I've been in both, but that's the only thing I like about sitting in the stands is that the food is right there.
Oh yeah.
I like to get out my seat and walk down, which I don't mind doing, but it's like it's a nice little conveniency, I'll say. Like, oh, okay, I don't have to go stand in line, no problem. I say okay, but if I don't, no big deal. I gotta go wait my time. I get my cell phone, playing games on it, pass the time waiting in line as we get my salty popcorn.
That's another reason I know I'm not cut out for MMA, because as soon as I experience the press box and the suites, I'm like, I'm going to as few games as possible where I have to be in the stands, because I am a creature of convenience. I can do it. I'll suck it up. I'm happy to, but
yeah. Yeah, so
I know I'm not built for what these guys are doing.
Right. So yeah, that's so I say I'm a creature of basically being uncomfortable. And so that's what they're doing right now. They're doing grappling right now here in the Most Wanted facility. And this is basically another word, real easy term that everybody knows in Nebraska is wrestling. That's basically what they're doing. But when you say grappling, because it's more grab and pull, and you're trying to get to either an armbar, submit, get points in MMA, but in wrestling, everybody knows very well, much in this state, how wrestling is scored. As they get a pass over. Oh, I
don't.
That's okay.
It's a blind spot.
I know enough. Like if you start on the ground and you end up on top of your opponent, that's a point.
Okay.
So basically, because their job is to hold you down.
Sure.
And if you get out of that, and basically you on top of them, points. It's a lot of points. So just know that. So if you're at the bottom, you start at the bottom, you end up on the top. Points.
I know having both your shoulders down is bad. I know
Yes.
being outside the circle is bad.
Yep. So staying in the circle, shoulders off the ground, and keeping yourself kind of in a defensive mode right here, like my man with the legs up with the ponytail here. You know, that is more of a defensive because once you get the legs in there, you can kind of get control of the person on the ground.
Okay.
Your upper body from that standpoint. So you just gotta be careful as the person on the bottom. Don't let the legs get in there too much. And obviously, some holds with your hands, and you got to make sure that is all staying the same, or stay in a place where you don't get grappled.
Right.
Then you got problems. So you're always moving quick, but you, like I said, with the aggressive moves, you got to understand if you're too aggressive, then that move could turn into a counter move for your opponent. They're trying to counter you the
very
whole time.
patient aggression.
Yep. It's always a counter coming at you. You gotta be on point.
Mouth of the South says, Austin, stop being scared. I know who I am. I know myself, right? And I think there's value in that. Yeah, I know they're tougher men than me out there. I respect them. I have immense amount of respect for them, but I also know who I am. I know what I'm about.
Yeah.
And sure, I'm okay with learning and growing, but I prefer learning and growing while not getting punched in the face, breaking bones, and losing teeth. So I respect those who learn that way. That's just not me.
Right. Yeah. And that's a true statement. And to know that about yourself is a good place. And you're winning when you know things about that. Know about yourself. Because if you find out the hard way, then you might wake up on the mat.
Might be too late.
Yeah. Like I said, wake up on the mat.
Right.
You don't want to wake up on a place that you haven't been in a whole lot. So that's what you got to be smart about. I mean, if you're adventurous, where he's like, you know what, I'll try something one time, and if it doesn't work or I don't like it, I won't do it again. It's real easy, and that is something where also you can be able to make a good decision about, is this good for me or not? If you do it one time, all right, this ain't for me. Jumping out of airplanes didn't work the first time. I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah, and you won't be able to do it again. But that's just the thing. If I was to go down here, like, would I want to wrestle or grapple with another amateur? More my skill level. Okay, maybe I'd get lucky and feel better about myself. But I also feel like grappling for the first time with an amateur is more likely to get me hurt. So give me Coach Jesse. Like, he'll know how to let me down easy. Like, it's going to hurt. I'm going to lose. I know that. But at least I'll be introduced to actual proper technique.
Yep.
And I probably won't die or wake up asleep on the mat.
And that's a good right there. What you just said about basically good technique is important. That's what the coaches do first. And they're doing it for the safety of the opponent, or I say of the person coming in.
Yeah.
Because if they haven't met them, they don't know them yet. They don't know their background. They don't know how much time spent on the mat, grappling and all that. So yeah, just for the error, let's err on the side of caution, of safety,
right?
To make sure that we teach everybody this is the pure technique of everything that we do, of how we throw punches to how we don't, and make sure things are done the proper way.
Right.
So we come out of this thing where you're having fun because you just learned a whole lot, and not be upset because you got hurt or whatever. So that's a first emphasis of a coach, just like any athletic coach in football, baseball. They're teaching them how to play this game so they'd be safe and protect themselves. And I know NFL has been like hunkering down on like certain hits in the NFL, and like I see some of my friends, they'll email me or text me a hit. It's like, this hit was fined, or this block was fined $25,000 or $12,000, and I'm like, that's actually perfect technique about how to go into a block. If you go any other way, I don't know how you could coach it without that player getting hurt. So
the ones that blow my mind for the suspensions, or not even suspensions, the fines, are we've seen like 3 or 4 running backs and fullbacks get fined after the game for unnecessary roughness.
Yes, that's what
not flagged in the game, but like the fullback's going through the hole, the linebacker standing straight up. What's he supposed to do? He put his face mask into his shoulder plate.
Right. And that part is just kind of interesting to me, because seeing what I've been seeing from text messages that goes into a Twitter account or Twitter post that looks at those hits that you're talking about. Those actually, it was a fullback. I think it was Picard from the Ravens.
Right. Yeah.
And he got fined, like, I don't know, a lot of money for something that he's been doing for a long time.
Mhm.
And it's just like, man, I can't teach him no other way, or I can't describe that how he blocked that linebacker and how he went through and hit on the rise. That's how we dip our hips and then hit on the rise. And if he does it any other way, he hurt himself.
Right.
So it's like
unnecessary roughness is him doing that to me. Unnecessary roughness is not him doing that to an NFL linebacker.
Correct. It's because the linebacker is trained to go, take on a block a certain way and
Mhm.
drop their hips. And
If he gets caught slipping, that's on him.
Use their helmet the proper way. Not using their helmet, more using your shoulder pads, but striking with your hands to keep the pressure and the hits off your helmet, basically.
They're still grappling, and again, credit to them. The creativity too is something that I don't understand. I'm sure having an understanding of the technique over there, what they're doing, would give you some avenues for creativity. But if I was on the ground, it's like, nope, you got me. Good job. I'll maybe flinch once or twice to get you to think I'm going somewhere, but no, good job.
It's not quite there for that, huh?
No.
Yeah. Because it's all about posturing, physically posturing to get yourself in the right move to get a grapple in or get yourself off the ground. And that's what the whole back and forth, of movement, as you see here with the combatants, as they call it, combatants. And you're moving around to kind of gain position.
Right.
Like that position there, that's a power where the guy is on the ground, actually in a power position, especially having his legs wrapped around his opponent. He can lock out the hips and come into a chokehold right there. And it's a very powerful chokehold where that player can be night-night, and that's not a good feeling.
Feeling that I don't know and hopefully will never know.
Maybe if you play UFC, video game.
Oh,
EA.
Okay, Tater did ask, when are you going to sign with UFC?
Hey, I got to talk to Mrs. Green about that because I've talked about it before with her and she disapproved.
Fair.
Because she's like, you play NFL for 12 years, play college football for 3 years, and you're on a good team, and y'all were physical, and no. But I'm like, I've been physical since I got taught to play, and because I had 2 older brothers and an older sister, dad coached football, cousins, uncles, brothers played football, so it's in me to run around and hit things.
Hit things, hit people.
I played baseball too, so I was hitting the bat, had a bat hitting the baseball. So it's like I kind of get it. Like I'm not, I understand it. I don't fear it. I actually like some of the type of hits. I kind of like, oh man, that felt good. Home run hit or good hit. I played linebacker when I was in little league in high school, and getting a good tackle. It's like, oh man, that felt good. You felt that. I know you did. Like I put all my body weight into that hit. And so when you understand the leverage and how to strike, in tackling, this is kind of what you do here on the mats, because you got to find your right spot, especially before you grapple, where you're already on the ground. When you're still on your feet, you got to find you kind of have to shoot for the hips. And that's because once you get a person's hips controlled, you're in control.
Sure.
And so you control what they do and what they can't do. And so it's just making sure that you understand how to get there and what efficient energy you're going to use to get there, like I mentioned earlier. So just understanding that and mastering that is key. Leverage. One thing I learned from linebackers that were on my team, Nate Wayne, he explained to me the whole concept of same foot, same shoulder hit. Jay knows what I'm talking about, Foreman. And it's basically where you get opportunity, if you're from a football point of view, is when you're in the hole, taking on a fullback, and it's basically bringing your best to the table and bringing same foot, same shoulder. So right arm, right shoulder, all that leg is lined up or left side, it doesn't matter. And you are hitting that person. It's going to feel like you mentioned, I think you said somebody was a tree stump earlier.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like that because you're basically, if you remember the movie 300 with the Spartans and the way they held their shield.
Yeah.
So it's going back to those times of where because that's a power position. And when you're in that power position to hit somebody, then you can break a lot of things and don't even try hard to do that.
Right.
If you catch them in the wrong position, then you're the winner. You're in a position of power, and that is used out here in certain ways. And understanding if you understand that like a science, to the T, then you can create some issues for people.
The art and the science interplay of it, the art of the technique and the science of the physics and the momentum behind all of it. Just mind blowing to me. Mouth of the South, really appreciate you on the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Do you have a favorite UFC fighter to watch?
Back in the day, it was St. Pierre.
Georges St. Pierre?
Yeah, Georges St. Pierre. Because I like his build. Like he was just even. Like he had an even build. There was no weakness.
Right.
He wasn't like overly strong upper body where he had no legs. Everything was like fair all the way through. And if you were going to try to find a weakness on him, it was going to be tough. And so, and then on top of that, his technique, his actual fighting and grappling, all that was there. And then obviously it looked good because now he's been in a few X-Men movies.
Right.
So it looked good. If it looked good for Hollywood, obviously he was doing it right in the mats, on the mats as a professional fighter. And John St. Pierre, and he was very respected.
Right.
I say currently too, some of the guys, God, I can't think of one. If I have my PC here, I could look it up real quick.
Get UFC 4 on.
It's a boxer. He has more of a boxing.
John Bones Jones?
No. It's him and his brother. They're both boxers. Or they have a boxer background, but they're in MMA. I'm trying to think. And he's fought, what's his name? The one I don't like because of his cockiness. The Irishman.
McGregor?
I try to get into liking him, and I can't. Especially when he attacks somebody off a bus or something.
Right.
His opponent. I was like, no, you cancel. I say, if I had a chance to fight you, I would repeatedly punch you in the face.
Was it Poirier?
No. He's an American. They're American because it is.
I'm trying to find this because I don't know enough here. Cerrone?
No, I know when you say
I got nothing on this one.
If you say the name, I know it. I would know it. I just can't think of it right now. But no, they have good boxing background in their family, and so I noticed that with MMA, and when they have a fighter that has one of the techniques mastered, then
the Diaz brothers, Nate Diaz.
Yep. And
Thanks,
so then it becomes a problem for somebody that's just good at kicking. Or somebody that's not good at kicking and just good at throwing punches.
Right.
Like Diaz and his brother are. They're really good at throwing punches. So they don't really have to go into the grappling because they'll just, I'm going to stand up the whole time, just submit you by bludgeoning you with jabs all day and uppercuts. And because I understand the science of boxing.
Right.
And so when you have one of the science down of MMA, one of the techniques down in MMA, then you are, what I say in my world, a problem. Because
capital P problem.
That's what we did on the football field as a Husker offense. We had the option game mastered, even though, as everybody would talk about today, and they're running it now in NFL, the RPO is just it's a shotgun form of the option.
Sure.
Offense, what we ran back in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, and they say, which it is, very simple offense. But when you master something simple, all the ins and outs, no matter who you play against. Like when we eventually got to a point where Coach Osborne and his coaching staff, they mastered the art of recruiting. So between the size and the speed, they started to change over to before I got here on campus. And by that time, they had it mastered. So they knew, okay, at these positions, we need speed. With we can run the same formula of defense, same formula of offense. We just need faster players and stronger players.
Right.
Which we did. We got all that. And so then our offense, even though everybody in the media world didn't like us, wasn't the sexiness. We just running the ball 4 yards.
Not Spurrier's run and shoot.
It's not a whole bunch of deep ball passes like it is now in the NFL. No, it was straight bludgeoning a defense for 4 quarters. Right. And we conditioned ourselves as college athletes here to play that whole four quarter of a football game to when the fourth quarter came, we were still fresh because this is what we did in practice.
Right.
And so that's why if you remember back, and I know you've seen the film of at Warren Sapp in the Orange Bowl, like, taking a big sigh of breath of, man, I'm tired, and these guys
get me off the field. I'm done with these dudes.
That's with Schlesinger and LP and Tommy and Brooke and all, Aaron Graham, Aaron Taylor, Chris Dishman were on that O-line, a few other guys I didn't mention, but that's where when you have a perfect storm of those athletes and stuff, on the football field, and relate that to the mat here. Guy like I mentioned, say Pierre, and seeing him as an athlete, his body was balanced. I could tell from head to shoulder, and then consistently sticking to that regimen of training he did to be in that physical conditioning was the reason why he was successful. In the game that he, his game of wrestling and his game of MMA. Become a champion a few times. So it was something, like I said, when you do it right, you master the simple things, then you become that powerful of a person or a powerful of a team, basically.
That Bruce Lee practiced one kick 1,000 times.
Boom.
Sort of.
I've heard that.
Mentality.
I love that. I love that comment, that quote.
Yeah.
That's one, if I were to get it tattooed on my body, boom, that'll be one.
That's awesome. He's Ahman Green. I'm Austin Norman. This is the Ahman Green Show, live again from Most Wanted MMA, 33rd and Highway 2 here in Lincoln. Their website is mostwantedlincoln.com. Coach Jesse in the building, getting ready for his fight at PBA on Friday. Definitely go down and support him. We've been here once. They're basically part of the Ticket family already. So definitely root on Coach Jesse there on Friday. We'll take one final break. Be back to wrap up the Ahman Green Show in just a sec.
Yep.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Blecker and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Wrapping it up here at Most Wanted MMA. Down here right now, not far off of Highway 2. Got some good stuff. They're just wrapping up. Getting down to some more floor. I say it looks like floor exercise.
It really does.
But it's not. It's grappling and getting off the mat.
A little more aggressive.
Working on techniques of that world, basically. And so, and this is the good stuff, too. When you get really good at arm bars, leg locks, that you become a problem.
Right.
Because then you understand the whole counter technique. Because when you waiting for the opponent to get in the right position to get the arm locked or the neck, the chokehold locked, you got to go off of their body movement. So you're waiting for their body movement. It's almost like where you see offensive linemen in the NFL, they're blocking, they're right here using their hands. And then once you could feel that body movement, when a good lineman will know, a good blocker will know that DN or linebacker is about to spin. They could feel it, wait, and start moving their feet over to get over to that if they're going to spin to the right or to the left. And so same with here, you're waiting, you're trying to fill that body out to when they start to attack, then you could get that arm and then you got it. They're like, oh man.
Not just reacting, but kind of anticipating.
Exactly.
Using those physical cues.
Exactly. So you're waiting for that you feel the pressure or you feel movement within the joints. They're like, all right, they're about to go to the left real quick. Let me get my hand here. And so you're already thinking ahead of time, which is good when you have that.
Some of that's so subtle too. Like you can't know unless you have your hand like in the right spot to feel, hey, when's that weight starting to shift away? And then that instinct to kick in, like, I got to do this immediately. You're not even thinking about it.
No, you're not thinking about it. And then once all the training gets you there and you understand it and it makes sense. And so that's where eventually I know Ree and Ryan, when he gets back, we're going to head back. Hopefully head back because I want to learn that stuff. I'm getting older. And, knowing how to do subtle stuff like this, I still keep that, I say a little bit of moxie about myself, and which I've never been in a situation. But if I'm in a situation that when it's about to get real, I can handle myself.
We need Ahman Green versus Eric Strickland is what we need. Stricky's been on that gym grind.
Oh, ooh, we could do that.
I don't want to volunteer Strick for anything he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying as a spectator. That's what I'm signed up for.
Okay. I wouldn't mind. I know where he'll get me at. You know, it's the basketball drill stuff, handling. But I'm gonna work on that. I plan to do that here when I go back for Christmas break. Go there's a little sports shop, grab me a basketball, start dribbling in the driveway.
Pop some J's?
Yeah, pop some J's, but really work on my handles.
Sure.
I could shoot. I worked on that, but my handles got to get up after that. So
Fair enough.
That's my goal.
There we go.
Christmas break. Oh man, so good talking with you.
Yes, sir.
Austin. Yep.
Appreciate Most Wanted MMA, Most Wanted MMA.
Yeah, it was a good time to sit down here.
For sure.
We wrap some cookies over there.
Ooh. That's awesome. He's Ahman Green. I'm Austin Norman. Big thanks to Most Wanted MMA. Check him out, mostwantedlincoln.com.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool